Hello and welcome to the podcast That's Showbiz with Hannah Ranko. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all had a great week. I had a very restful week as it was February break for the studios and schools I teach at. So I only had to teach one day this week at the college I teach at. I decided to take full advantage of this and check out from all of my work. And that is why there was no episode last week, because I was really enjoying February vacation. But I am so excited to be back with you today with an episode I am very excited about, because I have a challenge for you this month, and I'm going to do it too. So without further ado, let's dive right into this week's episode. First, I'm going to explain what the challenge is, and then we're going to talk about what motivated me to do this challenge. So, for the month of March, we are going to move every single day. And to my professional dancers, unfortunately, paid or professional work doesn't count. So if you're in rehearsal, if you're in a show, doesn't count. I'm talking about a personal movement practice that you can do every day. Don't fret. I know we're all very busy people. It doesn't matter how long. So it could be 5 minutes or it could be 2 hours. It really doesn't matter as long as it's every single day. It also doesn't matter what you're doing as long as it is some form of movement. So it could be an online bar class, a Pilates class, in-person dance class, or it could be just improvising in your living room. Whatever you want. The goal here is to move for us, not for a job. I know once you're working professionally, it can be hard to find time to continue your personal practice and training. And I find that even more than just finding time, I struggle with finding motivation to commit to a daily practice because I'm at these rehearsals, at these shows, and sometimes dance can just feel like a job or a chore. And I really, over the years, have lost touch with my personal movement practice and why I love to dance in the first place, beyond it being a way to pay the bills. So for a long time after college, I just kind of hoped that my passion for dance would reignite, but it's been a big struggle for me to find the motivation and passion for dance like I used to have when I was younger. And so I am taking a more proactive approach this month. This challenge was actually something I was just going to do for myself, but then I thought it would be a great idea to share on my podcast and get other people to join with me. And that is why I'm talking about it today, because it is the last podcast episode of February 2024, and we are approaching March, my friends, and we are going to do the Daily Movement March Challenge. And I was talking it over with my brother today, and he says I should shorten it to just Movement March, but I like Daily Movement March a little bit better. If you just want to call it Movement March, totally understand, but I'm calling it Daily Movement March, DMM. And I'm going to tell you what, or I guess who, inspired me to do this challenge. And that is my younger self. So poetic. But she was relentless in her personal movement practice. From the age of about 13 up until college, she would improvise every single night after school, and it was rare for her to skip out on her daily movement practice. And she would film herself and look back at the footage every night, and she would notice things she liked and noticed things she didn't like, and would keep doing that over and over and over again. And she got really good over time at improvising because she just kept doing it. And I totally lost that practice as I got older, as I had to prioritize, quote unquote, prioritize. And as I reflect more on my childhood relationship to dance compared to my adult relationship to dance, I do realize that my need for dance has changed over the years. And I think that has affected my relationship to dance. And I lately have been searching for the same relationship I once had in this new adult body with this new adult brain that thinks a little bit differently and has experienced life a little bit differently. And I guess to be totally transparent here, when I was a kid in high school and middle school, dance for me was a coping mechanism and it was a distraction. As cliche as this is, dance became the only thing that was able to validate the fears and feelings and emotions that I was experiencing in an alcoholic household. One of my parents was an alcoholic, is an alcoholic, and I just remember having all these emotions as a kid, and the adults in my life never gave me the tools to deal with those emotions. They never validated my reality. They never validated my feelings about that reality. It was kind of just like swept under the rug, and it was blaring and it was painful, and I was grieving in my childhood a lot, and I didn't really have a place to put that grief except for in dance. And I think all those cliches about dance as a way to express your feelings are so looked down upon in the dance world. But if you were to tell that to 14-year-old me, I would have been like, no, but literally it is. Like, quite literally, I have nowhere else to put this stuff but in my dancing practice that I did every day obsessively in my parents' basement while all the chaos upstairs was happening. I was dancing. It was the best distraction. It was the best coping mechanism, and that's why I use those words. And I say all this because that's what motivated me so much as a kid to improvise every single day. And I had this passion and this love and this dependence on dance, quite literally. And then as I got older, I always knew I wanted to be a dancer, so I just went with it, right? And as I get older, I go to therapy, I deal with my shit, I have words I can use to describe my childhood. I go through life and I learn to deal with the pain that I've had from my childhood, right? And so I don't need dance the same way I used to need it. I have dealt with my shit, so I don't need to use dance as a coping mechanism anymore or a distraction. And so I've found that over the past few years, as I've begun to really heal, that I am really struggling with finding that passion and that same dependence on dance that I used to have. And now I don't have a dependence on dance, right? It's something that I love very much and I enjoy doing. It's a passion, but I don't need it. It doesn't complete me. It's not my complete identity anymore like it was. And so now I'm struggling with finding that balance between being unhealthily obsessed and finding that passion. I don't know how else to describe it. It's been a real struggle. I want to have the same passion I did when I was a kid, but I don't have that same motivation of being unhinged and mentally unwell, quite frankly. Because I'm medicated and I've gone to therapy. So now I'm like, oh, I'm healthy now. So how do I deal with this? Anyways, it's a struggle of mine, and that's why I'm doing Movement March. My younger self inspired me. I love her. I care about her, and I really respect her. And I want to honor those really awesome characteristics that she had while still maintaining my mentally stable self. It's going to be a challenge for sure. So that is why I'm going to be moving every day in March, because it can be so easy to get out of rehearsal and be like, nope, I'm done with dance today, and I totally understand it. 10 minutes, 5 minutes in the morning, at nighttime, in the shower. You're gonna move because you like to move, and moving feels good, and moving is fun, okay? If you're stuck on ideas, guess what? I created something for you. It is a calendar, and every day has a little prompt of what to do. Okay? So no excuses here, fam. No excuses. We are moving every day. And I'm going to just do what feels good that day. I'm not going to put too much planning into what I do because I feel like that's going to set myself up for failure. My one goal is to move every day. That's all I am wanting to do. So it doesn't really matter. But if you're stuck in ideas, if you're a more structured individual, I have in the show notes a link to a beautiful calendar that I made with a daily prompt on it. You're welcome. No big deal. Now get this. The calendar is completely free, downloadable. That word was kind of tricky for me. Unfortunately, what isn't free, and if you're interested, is 100 improvisational tasks on Etsy, little card game. You can use it in the classroom or use it for yourself. It is printable and downloadable upon purchase, people. And it is not too expensive. It's $1 or $2. So head over to my Etsy, link in the show notes, to buy that. Selfless plug, there's also some really cool creative movement tools that I have up on there that are also downloadable and printable upon purchase. So feel free to buy those too if you want. Now, because I really want to grow this podcast, I've also created a hashtag. That word was hard for me. To use on Instagram so you can share your daily movement practice with me. And that is hashtag Daily Movement March. So use that hashtag in your stories, on your posts, in your reels, so I can share on the podcast, Instagram, on my personal Instagram, what y'all are doing for your movement march. I want some ideas too. Let me know. Let me know what you have cooking up in your brain about what you're going to do every single day. It can be something different every single day. It can be the same exact freaking thing. Does not matter. You're just moving every day for yourself, not for a company, not for another choreographer, with peace and love for yourself just because it's fun. Yeah, I said it. And guess what's even more crazy? That is all I have for today. I just wanted to challenge you. I triple dog dare you to do this challenge. Please do it, or else I'm going to be the only one doing it, which I'm going to enjoy regardless, so no worries. But it'd be really cool if someone joins me. So let me know if you're going to join me in my Instagram at showbizbabypod, biz with a Z. If you have any questions, email me at showbizbabypod@gmail.com, biz with a Z. Make sure you like this podcast, give it a review, share it with your friends, go to my Instagram, follow it, share all my posts, give it a like, and then while you're at it, email me and just say hi. Okay, people, that is all I have for today. Go out and get moving. I love you all. Have a great week. Goodbye.